G'day everyone, Jackson here. Welcome back to Daily Endeavours for the 23rd of October. So it's Thursday. Sorry again for another late one. I had lawn bowls penance today. I've been out all day. I'm very tired, so this is probably going to be a bit lower effort than what you used to. But yeah, I'll still try and go through everything as best I can. So firstly, the Halloween event is starting tonight. So a couple of hours after this video comes out, it'll probably be around. It's going to be double XP, so this is a good time to level up characters if you want. I will go through the event itself more in detail on tomorrow's endeavour, but yeah, just to get this one out quicker, I just don't want to really go through that. Okay, so Giants, Library Furnishings, Daily Quests, I think that's the best. 3 to go. Consumables Master Writ will be quick, but might be a bit expensive on resource usage. And killing a player in Cyrodiil, very unreliable. You can do this one quickly, but relying on being able to do this one quickly every time, not so good. Because especially since it's just Cyrodiil, it's not Battlegrounds and Imperial City, it's just Cyrodiil. Okay, so I will start with Library Furnishings, probably one of the easiest ones to do in the game. Firstly, getting a house for free. This is Philan Demery. She can be found in Vocal Guard. This way shrine everybody's got access to, so you can get here easily. Where this house is located on the map, just slightly northwest, you'll find an NPC here. If you just have a chat to her, you'll start a quest, and then to complete it, you just chat to her further. When you complete the quest, there'll be a house that shows up here, if you haven't got one of these, all of the 3 houses that you get. So they depend on the alliance that you do this quest on, but you'll find it in houses, in Collected, and they'll either be Rosy Line, Ebony Flask, or Mara's Kiss. Now you can just left-click to travel to them directly once you unlock them. The only other thing we need is a library finishing. Now, fortunately, with scribing becoming base game, you have a very easy library furnishing that you can get your hands on. It's called How to Scribe. This is a library furnishing. So all you need to do to get this is complete the second area of scribing. It takes a few minutes. It's honestly one of the easiest quests to do in the game, or quickest at least. If you have Gold Road, you'll find it in Westfield, just out front of the Mage's Guild. If you're playing on base game, you'll find it either in Monhall Deshan for Ebonheart Pact players. For Ordinary Dominion, you'll find it in Gratwood in the Mage's Guild up top. And then same thing with Stormhaven for Raverest for Daggerfall characters. You'll find it in somewhere near the Mage's Guild. There'll be an NPC. It's like a dude with a big Breton dude with like some glasses or some shit. He's like robes and shit. Just look for that guy if you're looking for it. Yeah, like I said, takes like just a few minutes. Unfortunately, it doesn't count as a daily quest though, so can't really rely on it for that. But there's some really easy daily quests to do in the game. Okay, so once you've picked the house you want to use, the free one or whatever, just open up the housing menu, go to Browse at the bottom there. In Library, you'll find your How to Scribe option here. So just place it on the ground, and that'll count once. Now, if you just left-click and pick it up and place it a bunch of times, nothing happens. You have to put it away, and then go back to your inventory and place it again. Now, if you want to skip that process, make it a little bit quicker, on the bottom left, you'll see it says Undo. You can hit that, and it puts it back in your inventory, or in the collections. And then you press Redo, and it puts it back on the ground. That also counts for this endeavor. So what I suggest you do is just pick a house, put it on the floor somewhere, or just on a bench, whatever, and then pick it up, put it away, and then undo, redo, undo. And that will place it twice for the endeavor. Very, very quick and easy to do. No like skill involved or anything. Alright, next up, talking about daily quests. Unfortunately, consumable master writs don't count. Neither do, I believe, any of the quests related to Writhing Wall for completing doing the fellowship stuff. I think the one for the Writhing Wall from that Khajiit general in Solstice might work, but I'm not too sure. Usually those ones do, because you can only do those ones a day. But yeah, don't bother with the fellowship. Don't bother with master writs either. They don't work. There's the 2 best options here. I think Writ is number 1. So crafting Writs, basically go up to the equipment crafting Writ board, grab one of these and do that. And all it has you do is just go to one of the crafting stations, craft a couple of items related to that crafting... what's the word? I guess just that crafting skill line. And then you just hand it in at a hand-in location. Every major every zone has like a major city that has these areas. This one here, for example, in Deshan is where you'd go for Mournhold. That's just here, handing these in here. Now, if you don't know how writs work, there are so many guides out there for writs. It's probably the thing that people have made guides on the most, because it's just such a good way to get so many things like gold surveys. You know, well, gold is in gold materials, and yeah, like it's just so much good stuff. I do suggest you get used to doing them, because yeah, daily quests sometimes come up for weekly endeavors, and yeah, you want to be able to do those effectively, because yeah, they're very quick to do usually. But let me go through the second best option, and I would suggest you do this option first for 4 giants, because there is an option for this daily quest that can make you go to a place that giants account for. So let me show you. So the option that you want to look for is if the quest is called Madness in Stormhaven. If it is, you're really lucky. If not, don't worry too much. Just do it anyway. Okay, Auridon. That's not too bad. So the reason Madness in Stormhaven is good is because one of the options for giants today will be Stormhaven in Bonestap Ruins. If you get this option, you'll do both of these at once, and yeah, you'll be fine. But let me just show you the other thing here. So this is considered to be a daily quest. It's a guild daily quest, so it also works just fine for them. So either if daily or guild daily comes up as an option, just do this one anyway. It's honestly one of the best in the game. The reason for this is majority of the public dungeons in this game that you get are close to some kind of house. So the reason this is good is if you use home tours to travel around, it's almost always very convenient getting to these places. Like, for example, if you get Lion's Den, right? Normally it's such a pain in the ass getting here, because the only way shrine you unlock by default when you enter the Rift is this one here. And you'd have to travel all this way just to get here, but instead you've got a house over here you can use to just travel like almost the whole distance. So I've got a video in the description that will explain home tours, using it for just convenience and teleporting around. If you need information about that, just watch the video. But yeah, just basically just go to home tours and use it to travel around if you want these public dungeons, like easy access to them. So let me show you an example here, right? So this house over here, this is like right next to Tooth Gully, which is the Auridon public dungeon. Alright, so once you get here, just leave the home. And what that's going to do is just bring you straight to Auridon, but it will bring you outside where the Tooth Gully public dungeon is. So just a pro tip for you with Auridon, if you're traveling to Tooth Gully and you're not using the house, you're using like one of the way shrines over here, if you're coming from the west, you don't have to go all the way around. You can actually come up here, and if you just look a little bit to the left of that spot there, and then yeah, just move right a little bit, you can actually climb up there and just skip that whole section there. Just use up a little bit less time getting through. Obviously it's a waste of time if you miss it a couple of times, but you know, good to practice, I suppose. Alright, so the even better thing about these this major skill daily is it's always really easy to find, because 1, it shows you quests, and 2, it's always around the group event, and 3, it's a chest that is like instanced. So if other people go take the chest, you can still grab it. It doesn't matter. It's not going to impact anything. Also, if you haven't done the group event yet, you can do it for a free skill point. I'll grab that. And that's it. Now we just hand the quest in. So for another thing for like really good ease of use, I like doing the starting the quest in Deshan, even if you're not Ebonheart packed, because this house here, Flaming next to Luxgare, is really close to the major skill. You've also got Quantum in Aurelia, but that's a lot more expensive. This one here is like, I think 13,000 or some shit. And what you can do with this is you can just travel to it. So you can just go straight out of the public dungeon, waste less time going all the way back out, and you can just rock up straight in Deshan. So my advice is to buy that that house. Now there is a house very similar in Grotwood and in Stormhaven. but both of those houses are significantly more expensive than the one in Deshan. So this one, I think, the best. The one in Grantwood is closer if you're doing the Undaunted daily quest. I'd say it's dependent on what script you want for scribing. But yeah, if you just want like the easiest one, the most reliably easy one, then I think the Mage's Guild Daily is the best. So yeah, open up the Mage's Guild merits. You'll get a focus script that you don't have yet, and this is a way to get the multi-target script if you want to use it for the traveling knife scribing skill, or if you need Immobilize for the banner bearer skill if you want to do the healing with scribing skills. Either of those, it's really good for that, because that's actually how you get them. Alright, we'll just use that. Okay, the next option is Giants. Now, normally I suggest you come to Lower Yorgrim, but I think this is just going to be too busy right now to reliably do, like, without it taking fucking ages. Because these Giants have a lot of health, but there's like only 15 or like 10 of them here, and you need 5, so odds are these things are going to be dead. Yeah, you can use this option if you want. I think there's much better options. So getting to Lower Yorgrim for the first time, I advise you use Home Tours again. So Grimhearth's Warrior, this is the quickest way there. Another really good option is Stormhaven in Wayrest here. Okay, option number 2 is the Ogres in Shinji Scarf in Stormhaven, just northeast of Wayrest. This area here has Ogres, and these Ogres count for the Endeavor as well. So if I just kill this guy... Oops. Yeah, and that counted too. So, yeah. There's probably like 30-ish Ogres around this whole area, and I find while they are usually utilized more than the Giants in Lower Yorgrim, there's more of them, so they tend to spawn quicker and in those groups. So that's another option. So for Lower Yorgrim, the quickest way to get here, again, Home Tours, use Gardener House, just travel east and then north. Get Windkeep Wastrun, and then you've got easy access to Shinji Scarf from that point on. The best option, though, is in Greenshade. It is Karak Dina. This option here actually has shit tons of them in the Delve, and this is the one I see just the least amount of people use. So you want to unlock this way shrine. Again, Home Tours using Boulder Tree is your best bet. Down here. Don't go that way though, because that just leads to water in a dead end. So come down here. There's a couple of ogres outside, you can kill them if you want, but inside is where most of them are. Right, as soon as you get in and turn the corner, there's basically going to be one there. Got a couple here. Go past them, and there'll be a couple more over here. And yeah, that's basically all you need. And just turn. You got more there, more there. Easy as. So yeah, correct Dina in Greenshade. This is personally the one I always go to. Okay, Consumables Master Writs. Enchanting, Alchemy, and Provisioning Master Writs. These are the ones that work. Now, unfortunately, if you don't have one of these crafts at level 50, you can't do this one. Don't look at it. So, in my opinion, Enchanting is the best, but all three of these options are kind of okay. Compared to Equipment Crafting Writs, there's tends to be less requirements compared to like traits, styles. They are usually way worse to like collect than the Consumable Master Writs are. So let me go through the three options. Okay, Provisioning, probably the cheapest, but the main issue is the recipes. You need to collect the recipes to be able to craft these items. You can't just do it. Unlike the other two options, which you don't need the knowledge, you just need the materials. But if you have the recipes, usually the recipes cost a couple thousand. Some of the recipes can be more expensive than that. Yeah, usually the resources you need are like just a couple of items worth just a couple of gold to buy on guild stores, or even just usually you can just find them, especially when ESO Plus is up or you've got the subscription for it. You just pick out from like provisioning boxes just all over the place. Usually you'll get some. So yeah, these are usually the best if you've got level 50 and have the recipes. The only thing you want to be careful of is there's certain recipes that require things that are much more expensive. Any of the ones that have, I think they use 40 vouchers, or is it 20? Yeah, the 40 Writ voucher ones. Here we go. Also, get smoked bear haunch. That needs perfect roe. If you're not familiar with perfect roe, it is a rare resource that is very expensive on guild stores. So anytime you see 40 Writ vouchers, avoid it like the plague. Just only go for the ones that are just a few. Like, for example, this one here is fine. But also goes tripe rifle pocket. This, I believe, requires Columbine. Just if you see the recipe, just look at what it requires first before you actually buy or use one. Because, yeah, some of these items can be quite expensive to get. Or you can make a lot more money off them that way. Oh shit, it's fucking Skipper. Hi, Skipper. So enchanting is next. You need to be level 50 in enchanting and have the two first passive lines maxed out. But you have to be level 50 to do them in the first place, so you've already got access to those passives at that point. This one's really good because the runes, as long as you've got the runes for it, you can just craft it. Like, you don't need recipes or anything. So this one's really good, and most of the recipes are very cheap because the runes themselves are usually pretty cheap. The only thing is prismatics. So if you see the word prismatic in there, don't buy these because, again, just like with Perfect Row, these need Hakijo, which are usually fucking expensive. So yeah, I usually don't. I don't go these ones. I go normal enchanting writs usually. Just usually I buy them for a lot less gold if I'm going to do this one. Sorry, Skipper. Third option is alchemy. So again, just like with the enchanting writs, you don't need any recipes for these, but usually these are more expensive to do than the glyphs for enchanting, because some of these are very expensive. Like if you see anything with health, magicka, and stamina, or like like if you just look up these, you'll usually be able to find what these require. So if I just look up a potion maker, for example this one on ESO Hub, and look up the things it needs here. So if I just go to innovation is the negative crit chance effect, so that's how you found that one. And then fracture is, I'm pretty sure, yeah, is the armor reduction, and then Ravish Health is just the innovation, fracture, Ravish Health. So that's what we got here. So that required Nirnroot, Stinkhorn, and Torchwork Thorax. Now, Torchwork Thorax, I've talked about this a lot. This is why I recommend selling them, because some of these can be, like, these things here are actually quite expensive to buy. So yeah, just keep that in mind. So if I just go, I'll go increase weapon power, speed, restore stamina. I'll try that one as well. So weapon powers here, speed is this one, and then what's the other thing? Restore stamina, the infinite icon. So yeah, Dragon Ram, don't do that. I'd probably go, probably this option or this option here, probably Namira's Sprot. Yeah, definitely don't go Dragon Ram. Those are fucking expensive. Yeah, these two here isn't too expensive. So yeah, that's how you check what that's going to require, if you've got the resources, or if you want to know just what it's going to cost. So yeah, because if you see Columbine there, or Dragon Ram, or Powdered Mother of Pearl, or shit like that, just be a bit careful, because that's going to cost a lot. Alright, if you need any other information about Master Writs, just let me know. But I assume if you can do them, you probably know enough about them already, because they're like a late game crafting thing. The last option, killing a player in Cyrodiil. So, pro tip, you don't need to kill someone. As long as you hurt someone and they end up getting killed by any other means, so another player, they die to fall damage, or they die to slaughterfish, anything like that, it still counts for you. So it's actually a kill or assist a player, kill or perform an assist on a player in Cyrodiil. So yeah, this one's actually not as bad as it looks. The only issue is sometimes trying to find a player in it, especially when it's like there's nothing going on. Because right now with the Writhing Wall event, a lot more people are probably going to be in Solstice doing this than in PvP as usual. So yeah, I would avoid this today, but I'll still just go through the very basics. So you want to build that works well in Cyrodiil. If you just run a PvE build in this place, you're just going to get killed in like 2 seconds as a damage dealer. If you're running a tank, you could probably get away with it a little bit, but you just won't be able to kill anybody yourself. You can still stun and do all sorts of other stuff. But so yeah, tanks aren't useless around here. But if you do want to make a build here, you want something with more health. I'd say go at least like 30 or 35,000. You want a lot of healing, a lot of recovery. So if you want a very basic build, let me just go through something. So 2 sets that are easy to get. So if you craft Wretched Vitality, have that as one of your sets, and then also run... you can go Orders Wrath, that's probably the other one I'd run with it. You can also go, instead of Wretched Vitality, you could go Trial by Fire, because honestly, status effects are like one of the most common things you're dealing with in this place. But you're not always going to have the status effect on you, so yeah, that could be a good option. We could also go something like Seducer. Oops, God, I can't fucking type. Seducer to reduce your cost, your magicka costs, or you could go some of the sets that you can buy. Daedric Trickery is a very straightforward one, but might depend on a bit on your class, because some have some of these buffs by default. Dragonites, for example, have Major Vitality, or Major Mending, one of those two. Probably one of the best in the game, though, for PvP is Rallying Cry, if you can get access to it. It might be a bit expensive getting the weapons, though, especially. So, yeah, I don't really recommend this just for beginners, because it's super expensive. Obviously, it's really good, especially if you have a Mythic, because it means you can run a Mythic, a Monster set, a one-piece Trainee, which is also really good, because people run Trainee on the armor, the heavy armor chest piece, because it's the best one piece slot there. And then they run 2 5-piece sets where you run 1 each on each of the weapons. So you have a Wretched Vitality weapon. I've got an example here, right? So running Wretched Vitality on the front and then Rallying Cry on the back. So on the front, Wretched Vitality procs, and then on the back, Rallying Cry procs. And even if they're not at 5 pieces, the 5-piece applies and stays. So yeah, you can get away with that shit. I'm running Mark and Ring of Majesty here. If you do have access to Mythics, probably the best right now is either Saint and Seducer or the Monomyth one, because it gives you Major Force, Minor Berserk, and Minor Vulnerability, or Major Protection, Minor Vitality, and Minor Timidity. Minor Timidity is just it reduces your ultimate a little bit, but honestly, Major Force and Major Protection for such small debuffs is like crazy good. Like Major Force is one of the most fucking powerful burst things, because burst is everything in PvP, right? You don't want consistent damage. Players are completely different to bosses. Players don't have much HP. Bosses have lots of HP. Players are really good at healing. Bosses are not really good at healing. Players are good at moving around and picking their targets themselves. Bosses can't really do that. So the way you kill players in this place is very different. Like, for example, I'd hit with Incap and then I'd hit with Merciless Resolve, because Incap stuns, does a lot of damage, and then increases the damage that you do, and then Incap is... Merciless is just like a really high burst single target ability. And then if they survive that, just kill them with Killer's Blade, because it's an execute. Yeah, I could put other things on at the same time. For example, I could run Bloody Contingency, and then when Incap strikes, this will also hit at the same time. So burst. The most damage you can do in like a couple of seconds, basically. Now, you don't have to run a damage build. Instead, you can run something like a healer. So you can run Sword and Board on the back, and then also just like a Restoration Staff on the front. Restoration Staffs are even better, because when you throw out a Restoration Staff, the projectile is really fast. As soon as you light attack a player with a Restoration Staff, it creates like a beam straight away. So that's a really good option there too. The only thing is, you won't be able to kill anything. But as long as you tap the players that you're going for, just run like with a team if you found other people to run with, and just heal them while you just light attack tap enemies in the distance, and yeah, you'll be fine. You also will get focused there usually. Healers are the first to get focused down by people. The other thing you can do is... let me just go through some good stats. So again, Wretched Vitality is fine. Orders Wrath is fine because it actually increases your critical healing. So Orders Wrath works for healers. But I think Transmutation is probably one of the best in the game for this, because it gives people critical resistance, which is a really good buff. It also gives it to you. If you have access to subclassing, this has significantly changed how PvP works, as far as I'm aware. Everybody basically goes Assassination, they go the Templar Restoring Light skill line, and they go the Warden Animal Companion skill line. I think they also go the Dragonite Ardent Flame one, for just like the extra damage that you can do with Ardent Flame. Sometimes it's really powerful. But I think these are the most common ones. Restoring Light, Animal Companions, and yeah, Assassination. Just for everything that those give you. Those skill lines for PvP is like so stacked with stuff. Now the other less skill-based method, I think, is using siege weapons. So say you're following a group around and a bunch of players start rocking up from the enemy team. You put a thing like a ballista down, you shoot at them. If it manages to hit someone, it'll hurt them, and then if they die to that, it'll count for you. So that is also another good option. And if you know how to use siege weapons effectively, especially when it comes to fighting unorganized groups, you can actually kill people pretty effectively with some siege. There's two options I suggest. The main one, the one I suggest you always have on you in Cyrodiil, are firebolt ballistas. You can buy these with gold from guild stores for very cheap, as you can see there, but 25 gold each, or from from siege vendors if you can't get any from guild stores. They cost 800 gold each, but yeah, it is probably one of the best options for killing players quickly in this place, because a couple of siege 5-volt blisters, you can get a player down quite quickly with a couple of hits of that. But yeah, obviously you need to be able to hit them. Not always as simple as it sounds. The other thing is flaming oils. If you're defending a keep and you have some flaming oils, these are amazing because you put them down. I'll just show you an example here. Okay, picture yourself in this scenario, right? Some players have just rocked up with a battering ram, and they're laying siege to the front door. You come up here, you chuck one flaming oil here, and the other flaming oil as close to this side as you can. You might be able to get 3 if you put them really far away from each other, but yeah, it's kind of hard. What you do is you just hop on them, like interact with them. Wait, what was that interaction? Oh, interesting. You can use the door. That's funny. I didn't actually know that. So, yeah, you learn something new every day. Fucking hell. All right. So the flaming oil, you put them down, and then you interact with them, and it does the same thing with the ballista, where it just like creates like an arrow, like a direction or like an arrow, and it'll. As long as you like point it down towards this grate, the oil will go down there and hit the people down below. Now, a couple of oils is a surefire way usually to kill a couple of players if they're not paying attention, if they don't know you're there. A couple of oils is like crazy burst damage in this game. And the thing is, if you can't put them here, go upstairs and you can put oils here and here as well. So there's a lot of ways to actually dump oils down. And even if that's even if they're taken up here, you can put oils here, and you can also put ballistas down here, or you can go over here and put ballistas up here. And even then, like if that's not available, if you can get some fire pot trebuchets, you can put them down here, and you can actually shoot them over the walls into this area here. They're just a bit hard to use because the camera is very janky with those, so sometimes it could just be difficult to see what you're looking at. Yeah, I think that's enough information. This video is already pretty long, so I don't want to make it go any further. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. Any questions, give me a holler as always. Her neck must be broken. Alright, so thanks everyone for watching. Thanks for your support as always. Have a good one. I'll see you next time.